Hi, beautiful black women. My name is Abby. I missed you so much. In this video, we're diving into the 4B movement, what it is, where it started, why men are absolutely losing their minds over it, and why black women especially need to seriously consider joining this wave of liberation that's been long overdue. Now, let's go ahead and get this straight. The 4B movement is not some brand new idea that someone has just come up with on TikTok. It actually started in South Korea as a feminist resistance to a society that was forcing women into marriages, motherhood, and relationships that only benefited men while draining women emotionally, physically, and financially. These women decided to reject the roles forced on them, and from that decision, the 4B movement was born. It's 4 simple bans. It's no intimacy with men, no dating men, no marrying men, and no having children with men. That's it. That's all it is.
A lot of people have a lot to say about Korean feminism these days and the way they completely want to keep men out of their lives, like the 4B movement, where they just swear off having children with men, or getting married, sleeping with men, or even just dating. Just to let people know, it's called a 4B movement because it's 4 no's. The word P means no in Korean, so P something means no this. And combined with the fertility crisis in Korea, this has become a very sensitive issue, but none of this is very shocking to me, that a lot of Korean women want to swear off men, because I've seen how bad Korean patriarchy can be. And this is very well represented in Korean literature, most famously in Kim Ji-young, born 1982. But what really told me the extent of how severe Korean patriarchy used to be was Please Look After Mom by Shin Kyung-suk. Aside from the main plot, which is about a family's struggle to search for their lost mother, the book describes the married life of the mother and the father, and it's set only, 2 generations away from my generation. And the patriarch in this portrayal doesn't work all that much, if at all. All he really is that he's the head of the family. She works, takes care of the kids, takes care of the home, while her husband does nothing and goes out to sleep with other women, drink with his friends, and do whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he can come back to the nest whenever he wants with no consequences of any kind. And that was apparently quite common in Korea before, where men don't do anything but just for existing, they were valued. The eldest male had power over everyone in the family and let nobody do anything without his consent, including other younger males like a little brother. This is 가부장제, a system where the eldest male takes all decision-making powers within the family unit. This is also 남한선호 사상, where they prefer male children to female children. Like, if women weren't able to produce male children, they were collectively punished by the rest of the family. Going back to Kim Ji-young, born 1982, the main character's little sister is aborted because she was a girl, and that happened very widely in the 80s and the 90s. People just aborted girls because they wanted boys. I mean, in the 60s, when medical technology wasn't, widely available and developed enough, they just throw infant girls away. Very akin to taking out the trash. That happened quite often in those times. And to me, people saying how radical Korean feminism has become don't realize that this is a proportional response to how bad it was for women, how they were just viewed as mere tools in Korean society before, how they were expendable outside of making babies, making sons more specifically. Everyone back in Korea called my mom 진우 엄마, meaning Chinu's mom. And actually back in Korea, all my friends' moms were called like this. 민우 엄마, 유리 엄마, 재성 엄마. And that was their names, basically. Only once in Canada, everyone called my mom by her name, and she finally wasn't just Chinu's mom anymore. And you may think this is trivial, but it's a part of how Korean society forces women into a role and makes them lose themselves in the process. And in the end, all that Korean women are asking for is to be treated like human beings and not go back to those days when they were nothing except their wombs.
Yeah, so this patriarchy stuff that we've kind of been going along with, it's harming us. I mean, men are treating us like crap. They're unaliving us in droves. So I think we're done. We're not going to partner with them or have their kids. Oh, wow, okay, so you're just gonna throw away your divine purpose of serving me and my kids? Well, then screw you. In fact, we're gonna leave you alone first. How about that? Okay, but do you promise? Yes, we promise we're gonna leave you alone. You know what? Have fun cleaning up your cat litter. Ladies, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some of y'all are gonna have to settle. I mean, you have to. We have got to cut it out with all these gender wars. Hey, I'll settle. Oh my God, why are you talking? I don't understand. Anyway, some of y'all are going to have to settle. I mean...
And yet that small declaration of peace, of boundaries, of detachment from male-centered life has a lot of men furious. A lot of men are spiraling because of this 4B movement. Okay, because the 4B movement doesn't just take away their access to intimacy with women, it takes away their access to control, their ability to manipulate, to dominate, to drain a woman's energy while giving her nothing in return. And they know that if more women start opting out, start choosing themselves, start removing men from the center of their existence, then the whole game they've been winning by default suddenly falls apart. The 4B movement isn't necessarily all about men. It's more so about women reclaiming their time, reclaiming their bodies, reclaiming their peace. These women are saying, I don't want to be a wife if the price of that title is silence. I don't want to be a mother if it means raising a child alone while a man gets to walk away free. I don't want to keep pouring into men who don't pour into me. I don't want to be intimate with someone who only sees my body as something to conquer, not something to cherish. And somehow all of that is labeled extreme. But when women are getting unalived by their partners, when abuse is becoming normalized, and when young girls are being physically assaulted at younger and younger ages, no one calls that radical. That's apparently just society. That's just how it is. So let's talk about Black women. Let's talk about how we have always been expected to carry the emotional weight of everyone around us, how we're supposed to be strong, loyal, forgiving, nurturing, even to our own detriment. We're expected to be ride or dies for men who wouldn't even ride for us when we needed them. And what do you get in return? You get disrespected. You get these men abandoning you. You get mocked. You get blamed. Black women are constantly told that if you're not married, if you don't have kids, if you're single, you have failed. And yet the women who did get married, who did have kids, who have stayed loyal, many of them are still struggling. They're still being disrespected. They're still being left to clean up the mess alone. Many of them are married single mothers. So why is it so hard to imagine that maybe, just maybe, Black women deserve a different path? One that isn't rooted in pain. One that doesn't involve being someone's emotional punching bag. One that doesn't ask us to constantly prove our worth just to be halfway loved. The 4B movement is an invitation to stop sacrificing ourselves on the altar of male validation. It's an invitation to choose ourselves, to build community with other women, to create joy that isn't dependent on being chosen by a man who barely chooses himself. And the fact that men are so threatened by women saying they're no longer interested in participating in these roles, it really just proves how much they have relied on our silence. Because they were never looking for equality, they were looking for obedience. And when obedience goes out the window, their whole illusion of power starts to crumble. Black women need to see this moment for what it is. The 4B movement, it's not a phase. It's not just Korean women rejecting marriage. It's women all over the world waking up and realizing that if men refuse to protect, respect, and cherish us, we are allowed, we are entitled to walk away. You don't owe them babies. You don't owe them your time. You don't owe them loyalty, especially when it's never reciprocated.
So the thing that I'm constantly seeing on social media every day is people, men and women, saying that the 4B crashed, or it failed, or it's not working, or whatever. And I'm here to say, yes, it is. The only reason why this was a movement, I said this before, is because millions upon millions upon millions of women all around the world got on social media or whatever, and we realized that we were not the only ones going through a lot of the same stuff with males. Thus, it became a movement. Most of us were already 4Bing before there was even a name for it, right? So if this so-called movement failed tomorrow or whatever, according to you guys, these men will still be dry peeing out here. There's still going to be a male loneliness epidemic. It's going to get worse. The attacks on women and stuff is going to get worse. These laws that go against women's rights are going to get worse. And the reason why these things are happening is because all these women all over the world are closing up shop. And this is the part that y'all don't get. The 4B has worked, and it will continue to work for those of us who are in it and who support it. Typically, those of us who are literally in it, it's working for us. Now, let me count all the ways that it's working for us. We're not being cheated on. We're not being lied to and gaslit. We sleep like babies at night. The women who ever had dating apps, I never had one. But for those of the women with a half a brain even who had dating apps, they deleted them shits. You know what I'm saying? We're not dealing with all the woes and the BS that comes with dealing with males and their BS, right? We're not dealing with it, okay? You guys are the ones who still got women coming to you as a woman. We're not dealing with any of this stuff, right? We're living our best lives, taking trips, working, making our own money, creating our gardens and all type. We're living life, boo-boo, right? Especially those of us who are in the 4B who are child-free. Don't even get me started on the child-free lifestyle, okay? So, sorry, but it's working for those of us who want to be in it or who is in it. Those women who are not in it and who don't support it and who think it's stupid, the reason why you feel that way is because you're male-centered. You don't have a purpose in life outside of having a man. That's why you don't understand it. Like I said before, a lot of you would unalive yourselves. You would self-delete if you knew you couldn't have a man. A lot of y'all are still out here kissing frogs to get to princes that you're never going to get. So y'all are still in this BS, this pissy, poopy dating pool. We're not in this pool getting pissed on every day and going through dating app woes and, you know, finding things out about your man and your husband is having an affair and all that. We're not dealing with zero of these things. That's what y'all don't get. A lot of us were 4Bing before there was a name for it. And many of us are going to 4B. Long after you think it's dead, it's not. We're still going to be safe. The only thing we really have to worry about is because of the fact that most of us that are in the 4B, a lot of us are the women that these men actually want. They don't actually want you pick-me chicks because you guys are already mentally conquered, right? So they still want us, so they're still going to hit on us and harass us and all that stuff. So we still have to deal with that aspect of it. And we also have to deal with, we don't know if these men are going to trip out and go rogue because we keep telling them no when they ask us for our phone numbers and they take us out on dates and stuff. So we still have to deal with that aspect. But outside of that, we don't have anything to worry about. So who is it not working for again? You? I wonder why.
It's not about hate. It's about choosing survival over sacrifice, peace over performance, freedom over fear. And to the women watching this who are tired of being overlooked, tired of being the backbone, tired of explaining basic respect, tired of watching men profit off of our pain while blaming us for their failures, understand that you do have options. You can simply choose not to participate. You can choose sisterhood. You can choose yourself. You don't have to die on the hill of being a ride or die. You don't have to date, marry, or even raise children with men who don't see your humanity. You don't have to settle for struggle and call it love. The 4B movement is not anti-men. It is pro-women, pro-freedom, pro-healing. And if that's too much for men to handle, they can go ahead and scream into the void. Let them cry about access they no longer have, because if your peace makes them angry, they were never safe to begin with. So to my black women who are watching this, you have been everything for everyone. You have shown up. You have held it down. You have sacrificed your body, your time, your sanity, and your soul, trying to prove your worth in a world that was never designed to see it. You were taught that love means to struggle, that being chosen means shrinking yourself down, and that loyalty means staying even when it's killing you. But I'm here to tell you, you don't owe anyone pain. You don't owe your womb to a man who wouldn't even protect your name. You don't owe softness to someone who only sees you as strong when it benefits him. You deserve peace without pain, love without sacrifice, freedom without guilt. And if the only way to get that is to say no to dating, say no to marriage, no to intimacy, no to raising children in chaos, then say no without flinching. Don't be afraid to say no. Say no and don't look back. Let them call it bitter. They can call it extreme. Okay, they can call it whatever they want to make them feel better. But you need to call it healing. You need to call it clarity. You need to call it liberation. Because choosing yourself has never been the problem. The problem is that you were told not to. So I hope that you can choose yourself loudly, publicly, and without apology. And the world can just get over it. Black women, I hope you like this video. I love you so much. And until my next video, bye.